So, like I said, we have Anish and other members from the team here today. I'll leave it to Anish to introduce themselves and tell you a bit more about the firm. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us here. I know it's the first day back after lockdown, very warm room. Well, this is, so we're BlackBull Markets. We're an FMA regulated broker. FX, CFDs is our speciality. We're based in Auckland. This is our hub. We've been around since 2014. And we offer platform technology for people to access the financial markets. And so, of course, as you well know, there's obviously been a recent craze of trading at the moment. Lots of the Reddit wave and the surge in interest for lots of hype stocks, meme stocks, cryptocurrencies, etc. So just to qualify the room by way of hands, who currently is a trader or who has investments in the financial markets? Well, more than I expected. So it's easier, I guess, to speak with you guys and you guys to understand what we do, and hopefully you guys can do well in this competition. So it's a great introduction and we're really happy to be here. So just going to give you guys a brief summary of what we do as a company. Just from high level, our two co-founders are Auckland Uni alumni as well, and they graduated in 2013. So in less than 10 years, we formed this entity and started with pretty much $10 million in trading revenue every month, trading volume every month, and now we're almost at $10 billion in trading volume every month. So we're New Zealand's fastest growing, one of New Zealand's fastest growing companies, and we've been voted on the Deloitte Fast 50 for the last 3 years. So just run through all of those, and of course we'll talk about why that matters at the end, because we're hiring pretty extensively and looking for new opportunities for graduates to come into the firm and add value as well. So that's something that we'll touch on down the line. So as I just touched upon, that's essentially what we do. Is we offer a platform for retail traders, institutional traders to come and trade on. And we offer leverage. So out of interest, just by show of hands, who knows what trading on margin is or trading with leverage? Fantastic. That's good. Essentially, it's an extended credit line on your equity. And it's actually it's been a fascination over the last 10 years in trading, something that's evolved from leverage, which has been non-existent to the retail market, only something accessible through institutional banks. Now, by way of intermediary brokers like us, where retail traders can size positions to pretty significant levels with smaller equity amounts. So that's where the main attraction comes in when you're trading. You think, wow, you can make this much money from only having this much. And we've seen it happen, but of course our focus is on education around risk management. And you'll see big statistics or statistics headlines that come out all the time in newspapers and prints, and over 90% of people who trade lose their money. And it's true, and we see it on this side. But the idea is to learn how to mitigate your risk, because that's what's going to keep you in the markets and create longevity. So those are things that we focus on, and again, we'll touch upon that through this presentation. There are different ways that you can trade. Over the last 5 years, social trading has been a big revelation. Of course, we mentioned Reddit, and of course forums and things like that. But there are technology providers online in which you can copy other people's strategies as well. So there are websites like MyFXBook, Psyquation, Swipe Stocks, that people list their portfolios, and you can look at portfolio performance and follow their trading, mirror their trading style. So these are things that are available and that are all accessible through our platform as well. VPSs, so if you are trading, VPS is a great thing to look into getting, especially if you're looking at programming algorithms or looking at high frequency trading strategies, because, so who knows what NY4 or LD4 is? probably. So they're basically data centers, and all the large investment banks, financial institutions keep client data, trading information, all on these servers in the most secure locations pretty much on Earth. Greater, in my view, than Fort Knox. Like if you go on Google Maps, type in LD4 or NY4, you'll see great big barricades around these data centers. And it's very, very difficult to even get into. So we offer something called a VPS, and a lot of high-level traders use this. And if you are looking to get into trading as a full-time career or looking to get more serious into trading, you want to be looking at VPSs, because VPSs will grant you access into those data centers, so you get pretty much instant execution, because the trading server is also placed in those same server racks. So it reduces your latency. These are things, again, that we offer access to via our platform. A big part of our business is introducing networks, and these are just simply kind of a referral-based system of business. We touched upon our awards, so like I said, we were voted as one of the fastest growing companies in New Zealand. And in New Zealand, you would think, I mean, it's not really at the forefront of financial services, and hopefully trying to change that, and more companies do appear like that, especially in this country, because the first thing you think about in this part of the world is Sydney or Singapore or Melbourne, or going overseas. And hopefully with this lockdown, of course, and how New Zealand has performed well, we can start to attract some talent back to the country. Okay. So we'll get into the platform and what we offer on the platform, what assets you will essentially be trading. So foreign exchange, FX, there'll be around 28 to 30 FX pairs that you will have access to. Those are the FX majors, so your euro dollar, pound against the dollar, your Kiwi dollar, your Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. Key FX crosses, of course, they run 24 hours a day, 6 days a week. And in New Zealand time, you'll be looking at trading from Monday 10 a.m. to around Saturday at 9 p.m. Those are the market hours. So FX is what you'll be trading. That's where you'll find the most volatile markets are. Index CFDs, so those include indices like the NASDAQ 100, of course, been in the news a lot over the last year. It was one of the highest performing ETFs, following, of course, that big March fall, which we'll see on some charts in a bit. So you're looking at the ASX, we've got the FTSE 100, the German DAX, a lot of the European indices, the Hong Kong, the Sensex from China, so lots of indices, CFDs that you can trade. If you're into stocks, which we won't be offering stocks on this platform, but you can trade the index instead. So the index, of course, tracks a lot of the major moving stocks. So for example, when the NASDAQ swings 5% of the day, generally Tesla or those larger stocks will move to a similar extent in that direction. Commodities, so we also offer commodities, and those include natural gas and WTI crude oil. So if you follow the oil markets, oil is split in two contracts, and that is WTI, which is Western Texas Intermediary, which is traded in the US, and also Brent crude, which is in London. We offer both, and they both generally track each other. Okay, so and also precious metals, of course, gold and silver. Those are the main hedges for inflation, and again, constantly moving assets. Energies too, so this matches up with what we touched on with natural gas. Okay. Again, so you guys will be trading on the MT4 platform, and we will be offering you a range of tutorials. So if you go onto our YouTube channel, we have a playlist called MT4 Tutorials, and it will essentially take you through the MT4 platform from beginning to end. Most of the frequently asked questions are on there, and we'll also go through a basic setup shortly of how you would set up your platform. You can access it via your mobile application by downloading the MetaTrader 4 app, or via the desktop, or via the web trader. So there's 3 ways to access the platform. So it's up to you how you want to do it. Some people, what they like to do, if you like to analyze charts and have a bit more of an in-depth look at the technical side of things, you may want to do that analysis on your desktop platform because the mobile is pretty limited into the aesthetic view of it. And then you can track your trades on the go, you can move your stop losses around and take profits when you're on the go on your mobile. So that's also a pretty cool thing to have a look at. By the way, if you're using an Apple, if you're using a Mac, there's a troubleshoot to get the Mac platform, because we recently had an update. And it's funny, so I'm looking over to Kyle over there, who used to write you guys a bulletin of the investment club, and he used to work with us. So again, like we're pretty actively hiring from Auckland Uni graduates and people from the investment club. We've got a decent track record. I would put all the Mac issues to you, Carl. Okay, so if you guys ever decided to use us in the future as an execution platform, of course we're based domestically and we're regulated by the FMA, so it's one of the highest forms of domestic regulation, and we're also based in Auckland. This year we'll be hosting seminars in our new office, which will be in the HSBC Tower. We're acquiring pretty much the whole of the 22nd floor, and we'll have space for a seminar room, and we'll have 2 or 3 seminars this year. So if you guys are keen in exploring the education side of things further, it's all part of the service that we offer. So this is just some of the things that we, that's again social trading. Okay, this is something interesting which is probably useful for you guys to note. If you were interested in becoming a fund manager, or looking at, say you've got some friends who say, I've got all this money but I don't know what to do with it, and don't know what trading is, don't want to keep it in my bank because I'm getting nothing there, and you think, well look, I've got this track record down the line, hopefully not too much of it now, unless you're Kyle. Sorry, admin joke. And you can create the MAM account platform, and the MAM account allows you to attach investors onto your manager account, where they basically mirror your trade. So it's like a mini fund setup. And we're lucky to be in New Zealand, where the regulation behind this is not as strict, whereas if you were in the UK or Europe, you would be required to have some regulation to become a regulated fund manager. So those are just things to note in the future, some services that we do offer. And what I'll do now is I'll just bring up the trading platform, so I'll show you guys what we'll be looking at when it gets, when you open up the account. So I believe that you'll be all, if you register for the competition, you'll be all emailed a login and a password and instructions on how to log in. So that will be done this week. And first thing I'd recommend you do is log in and have a look around and have a play around. So if I stop sharing, here we go. So this is the MT4 trading platform. Now, when you generally open the screen, you would get something that appears somewhat like that. And you may not have a market watch window there. So the first thing that people like to do is set up a template. So when they set up a template, they kind of change the background colors of the screen just to make it more aesthetically appealing. I mean, right now it's a line chart, I believe. And you can get it, once you set up a template, you can save your template, and you can get it to something like that, for example. Or something like that. Just put it back on the plate. So,
yeah, we've been given the clearance to get some trades on it.
Alright, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, so we can play some live test trades as well with you guys. So we've got a bit of a credit line. We can go through some examples. So, like I said, one of the first videos in the tutorials is how to set up my template. and this is an example of how to set up a template. And you've got red candles, which are basically representing downward price movements, and black candles, which are representing price movements to the upside. To make it simple, let's change the bull candle to a green. All right. Okay, so what I would like to do is probably just look at a market example, as I touched upon the Nasdaq earlier. Let's just So, can someone talk me through this chart? What happened here, and what was the reason for that? Please.
COVID.
Yep. But does anyone know why during an economic time of 10% unemployment in the US and rampant inflation, debt, government spending, that the tech stocks went up? Yeah.
Maybe like the top 100 companies or whatever were rotated around. So like the new companies in the NAS 100 are like perform a lot better during the COVID times.
Yeah, that's one reason. Yeah.
Because the listeners probably realize the big tech companies, they can still work at home, that kind of thing, that they can still function.
Yeah, that's another reason. Please. Yeah.
Retailers.
Yeah,
They
that's
just went
another
for the big names.
another one, exactly. Any other ideas?
Low interest rates,
Yeah.
so people are more willing to speculate.
Perfect, yeah. So, exactly, I mean, it's combination on all of that, heavily weighted on low interest rates. Does anyone know what the OCR is right now in New Zealand?
0.5.
Yeah. Yeah, well done. Okay. You two get a t-shirt. We've got some merch over here for you guys, so just come over here when you're done. Yeah, so exactly. So with every chart.
What you do?
So every chart really tells a story. Every chart tells a story. So, for example, that pandemic reversal was one of the biggest sell-offs in history, and matched up with the GFC. But what was amazing was how fast it turned around. Within 3 or 4 months, we saw. I mean, if you look at that 10K level here, that was already operating around all-time highs on the index. Does it come up? Oh, my mouse. Not too sure what the mouse is.
I think it's frozen.
Oh, yeah. I think I've frozen over here. But anyways, let's see if I can. I might need your help.
No.
Sorry.
We should